man. So first and foremost, if nobody told you as of yet today, thank you, Brooklyn, I love you. If nobody told you as of yet today, I am proud of you. You're going to continue to achieve anything you set out to do. You understand me? Also, you already know, I do have to give you a brief disclaimer, all right? So I only want you to take what resonates, and I want you to leave the rest behind. I don't want you trying to force certain scenarios for you. If you don't happen to get your confirmation through me, I guarantee you won't get it through somebody else, all right? So be patient with your process. Also, as you already know, my voice is too raspy to be whispering, all right? So this is about the time that you probably want to go ahead and hit that volume. Thank you, babies. So before we get started, thank you, me versus me, girl, rising the big fish. How you feeling? So before we get started, as always, I want to thank you so much in advance for all your love, like, share, subscribes, your gifts, kind words, not only to myself, but each other too. Because I don't always get to pause in the middle of my message to relay or say that to you. So thank you, all right? Just know I'm sending all that love back to you, all that positivity back to you, all that prosperity back to you, all right? So definitely embrace it, okay? Now, chosen ones, we have a few messages for today, okay? So I was going to break them down to various videos, but we're going to see how it goes, all right? So first, we're going to have to talk about pertaining to karma, current karma, okay? Now, this is karma coming for you as well as individuals that you were connected to, okay? And some of the karma may not feel well at this point in time, but it's required, all right? Now, what do I mean? You always hear the energy that you give out is the energy that you receive, correct? We always heard that what goes around comes around. What you do comes back to you, correct? See, chosen ones, you may not have realized that some of the karma that you're experiencing is karma that you have put out as well, right? And I'll explain. See, the intentions may not have been that, but that doesn't mean that you didn't do that, okay? So there's some of you chosen ones where currently you're going through as far as certain hardships or certain people are carrying you a certain type of way. Now, first, we're going to talk pertaining to love. There's some of you who have, thank you, IQ, I appreciate you, baby. There's some of you who have not experienced true love, right? And we're not just talking about as far as from your family disrespecting you, using you, taking advantage of you, not acknowledging you, abandoning you, so on and so forth. So as clear as you can see that how you treated or how you was treated was not right. Some of you are getting karma based upon how you carried you in your life, okay? So we'll talk about first how you had self-sabotage and caused karma towards you based upon how you carried you. So when somebody cheats on you, you're always so quick to say, oh, they're going to get karma. You want God to have them pay right away. You want them to feel that blues that you feeling too. Now listen, your feelings is valid. But why would you want another individual to go through what you went through? Now, sometimes it's required. Sometimes a hard head makes a soft what? You understand? So you have to experience certain stuff. But what if I told you that some of you chosen ones, people haven't been showing you the love that you truly deserve because you haven't been showing yourself that. So you talk about how, oh, this person's talking down to you, they doubting you, they don't believe in you. Yeah. But how many seasons have you done that to you too? Sometimes God will have you, somebody else do to you what you're doing to you so that you can see things clearly. So you talking about how, oh, that fam, how nobody loves you, nobody show love to you, but you talking about nobody loves you, nobody show love to you, that includes you as well. Because you haven't been loving on yourself. You haven't acknowledged you. You haven't been complimenting you, but you expect somebody else to do it. You want somebody else to call you beautiful. You want somebody else to sit there and acknowledge that you're worthy, but you haven't been reflecting that. Every time it comes down to it, you out there picking yourself apart. You talking about your appearance. You talking about what you used to have, what you used to look like, what you could have had, what you could have done, so on and so forth. So you limit you. Soon as these people get make you mad, you start to retract or draw back from things that you're calling in for you. So soon as that person doesn't show you the love that you deserve, now you talking about, oh, F love. You don't want nobody. You want to be by yourself. But that's the same issue that you had when somebody else did that to you as well. You talked about how they didn't appreciate you, didn't have time for you. But what time have you placed for you as well? You have to realize that certain people that you align with, they have you hold a mirror up to yourself. You understand? So therefore, chosen ones, you have been getting karma based upon how you have carried you. Yes, what other people did to you was not right, but you did the same thing that they did. So the same karma that they have coming in, you had that karma coming in as well. So there's some of you talking about how this person cheated on you. Well, how many times have you cheated on you too? How many times have you felt like somebody else was better for that position? How many times have you not even stepped up and placed yourself because you didn't feel like you was good enough for the competition? How many times did you not apply to that job because you felt like you wasn't qualified for it? How many times did you not apply to that house or that car because you assumed that they wasn't going to approve you? See, you have to realize that God will speak through certain individuals on behalf of you. So it's not up for you to know how it's going to get done. If God says it's going to get done, it's going to. You understand? So you have to realize that a lot of you have been speaking spells on yourself, limiting yourself. You understand? But then you so quick to point to somebody else and say that they doing it to you. Oh, that person's sending black magic to you. Oh, that person's putting things on your health. Oh, this person's doing that. Well, you believing in it, so therefore you doing it to yourself too. You giving those people power over you. Don't you know that if you speak life into you, no matter what people speak against you, it gets deactivated? See, the thing is, the enemy will have you talking negative about you, so therefore you basically have what they're speaking on to you come into fruition and come true. So you have been your biggest opposition. There's a lot of you as well where what you went through has made you get into that victim mentality. You understand? And y'all don't like to hear that. Some of y'all get y'all's feathers ruffled talking about you not a victim, you not a victim. Stop acting like that shit then. And then some of you rebuttal. Oh, I'm not acting like a victim. I'm just saying, yeah, you are acting like a victim. Because just because your family was terrible towards you before you was an adult and able to get away from those individuals does not mean that that is the whole story. That was just a chapter of your book. That was just the introduction to you. But you are making that seem like it is the whole makeup of you. So you're talking about how the parents used to abuse you, they mistreated you. You are not forced to be around those individuals no more, and a lot of you still choose to. So again, God protects babies and fools. You're no longer a fool when the truth gets presented to you. That is a choice then, okay? So I want you to realize at this point in time, make sure you're not speaking spells on yourself. There's some of you talking about your body. Oh, how you used to be this size, and oh, you want to lose weight, but you may not recall why the fuck you was so small in the first place. During that time period, you ain't had food, baby. So let's go back down memory lane. You talking about the size that you used to be. Okay, well, that was back then where money was tight. You ain't have money to sit there and be eating right. So now guess what? Now that your pockets expanded, your damn hips did too. But that's a positive thing. That's not a negative. But sometimes chosen ones, where you're at will make you look at things from a I'll say an illusion, right? It's one of those mirrors, those tricky mirrors where you think something's one place in that place when really it's not, right? It's an illusion. How many times have you looked back at certain old pictures of yourself and wonder why you ain't never posted? So at that time period, you didn't feel confident in what you were seeing. Half the time it was projections on you that people were speaking on you so that you ain't feel yourself, so you ain't know yourself, so you ain't put yourself out there, right? They wanted to keep you locked away. Some of these people wanted you to stay in a certain place so that they can go play and they can return when it's convenient to them. So this is the season, chosen one. You talking about your body again. Back then you was sad, you was depressed. You talking about how small you was. Yes, babe, that was caused from stress. You was dealing with so and so during that time period. Your ass was steady having to walk it off. You ain't had. So there's some of you that for some reason y'all kind of get confused on where you was really back then, and you trying to call that new energy towards you, talking about you wish that you can go back to how you used to be. Baby, no, because who you used to be, chosen ones, you ain't even know you. You understand me? So therefore, stop doing that. There's some of you chosen ones, again, you have to realize who you are at this time. Whoever aligns with you, whoever's truly designed for you, are going to accept you, going to embrace you. They're not going to pick you apart. When they see you, they're seeing you at the size now, not the size that you used to be. They're looking at you based upon how you carry yourself now, not how you used to be. So therefore, chosen one, stop trying to hold up old pictures of yourself, hold up old situations pertaining to yourself, and stop doubting yourself now, because once upon a time where you at currently is where you dreamed to be, where you was hoping to be, where you was wishing to be. So again, do not be your biggest opposition. You talking about so and so doubt you, but you doubt you too. Again, you do not have the power, or God has the ability to get into certain individuals. You understand me? So God has the ability to hop in. He can have angels pop up anytime period. A lot of you are earth angels and don't even realize it, which we gonna get into. But with me saying this, chosen ones, speak life into you. You sitting there creating doubt for yourself. You just had to follow through with the faith. So if God said that you about to get a new place, you about to get a new car, and you sitting there saying you did everything that you can, and you don't see it happening, see, that's your first problem. You got to see it into fruition. The same way that you have a dream, if you want to dream about somebody, or you want to sit there and go to sleep thinking about the person that you want to be with, you're going to start to imagine it, right? And then all of a sudden, as you start to imagine it, it starts to come into fruition. Now you sleep. Now you thinking about that person like you with them, right? So sometimes you have to see certain things through. Even if you don't see how it's going to happen for you, you have to see it through. Okay, God, you say you got it. Say no more. I ain't going to stay on you. I know that you follow through every time you say you about to do something. See, God's a God of his word, right? So with that being said, a lot of you have approvals coming, but you ain't even applied for it. You talking about, oh no, you're not going to get that house. That's not true. You talking about your credit, baby. Credit don't have nothing to do with God. Thank you, baby. God speaking through. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, baby. Or Teresa. Thank you, Kay. So God has the ability to speak on that person's heart. Do you know? Now, let me say this. I'm going to give you a little background, right? I was an adjudicator, right? So what I used to do was process backgrounds. I used to give people the opportunity that just got out of incarceration. I was the one who looked at their background to see if somebody gave them an opportunity before we put them in this position. We had to see how long ago it was since they did this and all that, right? Now, I bring this up, chosen ones, for a reason, right? All it takes for us to be able to give that person an approval, no matter what type of record that they had, we just had to see somebody else gave them an opportunity in a sense. And sometimes we were that opportunity. So I want you to think about this. Instead of blocking your blessings by thinking that you know more than God, if God said that that's for you, and you're going to have to apply. See, you have to play your position. God can do everything, but then you're going to be upset because you steady waiting. So therefore, if you want something, you had to do the work. What does that mean? Okay, if God, you say you want that position, have you applied for it? How God gonna get you the job if you ain't even applied? Now you waiting there looking simple. You talking about, oh, you want love. Have you done anything in order for you to get love? Are you open to love? You steady having your face screwed up talking about, oh, this person's that or this is that. Okay, well, you speaking limitations upon you. I'm not receiving it. I'm not claiming it. I'm going to speak what I want into existence and I'm going to wait on it, right? So, or I'm going to go meet it. This is like somebody telling you, oh, where you at? They at a different location. You're at a different location. Yes, they could drive all the way to you, but that'll be more time for that individual, right? For you to see them. Or you can meet them halfway. You can meet them halfway so it's quicker for you, quicker for them too, and you get closer to the solution. So as far as your blessings, that's what's going to happen. As far as the car approvals, there's a lot of you chosen ones where right now you was doubting yourself, feeling like the opportunity was not going to get presented. See, I say apply for certain cars, and the cars that you don't get approved for, they was not even yours. See, had you got approved, you would have got approved for that lemon. It may have looked nice, but that shit would have had a quick ending. It wouldn't have had no longevity, right? So sometimes chosen ones, you feel like you have to settle too. You feel like you got to go to that rinky-dink place because you don't feel like you're going to get approved. See, I'm somebody, baby. I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm going to take that opportunity to apply. I'm going to take that opportunity to see how things is going to work out because I know what's mine I'm going to get. So instead of limiting yourself by limiting, with limiting thoughts, speak certain things into fruition. So that person that you're applying to feels that energy of you and gives you that approval. Sometimes it's you just speaking. And I say this too, chosen ones, telling people your honest situation. If you're not able to fulfill that payment, then that is not for you. If you got to sit there and do scamming shit to get that place or that car or that place is not for you. You understand me? So just because you got approved but using this or using fake this or fake that doesn't mean that that place was for you, and that's going to cause more karma and consequences towards you, right? So what's for you is going to come, and that even comes pertaining to that position or love, right? So stop limiting yourself. Now with this being said, oh, thank you, baby, I appreciate you, MIA, thank you. So with this being said, speak things into fruition so that you're not limiting yourself like that person did. Your mother never believed in you. She called you ugly. She left you, chose other partners over you. Okay, And guess what you're doing? The same shit, but it was a problem when they did it. And what do I mean? You choosing certain partners over you too. You out here choosing that partner who has no love for you, no time for you, haven't done any nice gesture towards you. You have to beg that individual to do the right things towards you. It's chaos. It's hell. But you still dealing with them. So therefore, guess what? You doing the same thing that those people did to you as well. You got to cut that shit out. Because you can't talk about you want your mother to get karma for how she curried you, your father to get karma, the ex to get karma, if you're carrying it on. Because whatever they get, your ass going to get too, because you did the same thing to you. So again, be mindful of that, okay? You out here cheating yourself. You talking about that person's always cheating on you. Again, you're cheating you. You're not being the best. You talk about that person and left and forgot about you. But how long have you forgot about you? You don't cater to you. You don't buy yourself nothing. You talking about that person don't buy you gifts. You buying shit for them. How come you ain't sit there and put your name on no gift in for you? How come you are sitting there again catering to these individuals over you? There's karma for that. I'm telling you, it's karma. You wondering why you experiencing what you experience and you saying that you ain't doing it to nobody else. Well, you doing it to yourself then. Now, there's some of you chosen ones where karma's coming based upon what you did to another person. And it wasn't your intentions. You ain't have negative intentions, but doesn't mean that you ain't do it. So there's been times where this person was a nice person. They were cool. They had nice characteristics for them, but they just weren't for you. And you may have misled this individuals unintentionally. Now, what do I mean? See, at that time, you felt like because they were nice, because they had good qualities to them, that you were going to, in a sense, fake that connection. So you were trying to persuade yourself that that was your person. You ain't feel no spark. You just felt like, oh, well, everybody else says this is good for you, so you chose that you wanted that in. That wasn't your person. Yes, they had good qualities to them, but that wasn't your person. You understand? So with this being said, chosen ones, be mindful of who you're selecting. There's some of you that was praying for this person. Have you ever heard the term where they say somebody prayed you out of that relationship? And that's true. Because sometimes when you're praying for your partner could be with a karmic individual at that time and you not even know it. You just praying, God, please, I ask you to align me with my person. I ask you to align me with my partner. I ask you to allow my partner to be strong enough to get through all the obstacles. You're just saying that. Don't attach your name to it. Don't attach no name to it. Because half the time the person that you think is yours is not really. The person that you married was not even your husband or your wife, but you feel in a certain type of way and that person wasn't even supposed to be in your life. Nobody told you that was your husband. Nobody told you that was your wife. You made that decision. And prior to you making that decision, God has showed you signs and synchronicities that wasn't the direction that you were supposed to be headed in. You understand? So again, just because somebody's a nice person, got good qualities, that's not your person. Do not sit there and try to persuade yourself that is. If you don't feel no spark with them, if you don't feel no connection, if you don't feel that I'm attracted to them, that's not your person. That would be you persuading yourself to stay with that person, knowing that your heart is somewhere else. And that's what somebody did to you as well, where they're like, dang, shorty's nice. He buys stuff. He sits there and caters to me. She cooks for me. She cleans for me. She takes care of me. They're sitting there saying they're great qualities, but they don't feel no spark with you. If they did, they still wouldn't be out here entertaining other individuals. If they felt that spark, or felt like you was that position to play that part, they would never give somebody an opportunity to get close enough to be where they are. You understand me? So a lot of these people, they see, oh, you're a nice person. You're a great person, but you're not their person. And that's okay, because it's karma. Some of you chosen ones, you're going to either be the person providing the karma or you're going to be the person receiving the karma, but it's not always bad. Okay, so with that being said, there's some of you right now that's sad because this person chose another person over you. It's cool. That wasn't your babe. That wasn't your boo mama. That wasn't your boo papa. That wasn't them. Okay, and half the time, if it was your person and God showed them that they were supposed to do right, because a lot of you got past people who crossed paths with you and they didn't do right at the opportunity. So they prayed to God to have that opportunity represented to them. Oh, God, just give them another chance. They felt like they made the wrong decision. And as soon as God gives them an opportunity to run into that person again, they do the same shit that they did before. So they ruined the opportunity in a sense. They had an opportunity to repent for the things that they did. They had an opportunity to do things differently than what they did in the first place. They had an opportunity to love on you the way that you deserve. They had an opportunity to apologize with changed ways. They had an opportunity to marry you, propose to you, take you on trips, buy you get. They had an opportunity, but they did not feel like they needed to do it. So therefore, chosen ones, you do it for you. You understand me? So some of these individuals are going to come out and get removed out of your life. And when you say that powerful prayer, please God, align me with my true tribe, align me, remove anything that's not for me. You better be mindful and waiting for that. So don't sit there and ask for things that you want if you're not willing to let go of the things that's not for you. And I always give you this example. This is like an old cell phone. You know how you have the your phone's broken. The screen's black. The screen's cracked. You can't make no calls. You can't receive no calls. You can't check your messages. None of that, right? So therefore, guess what happens? You got a phone that don't work. It's just there. You understand? And guess what? How does the insurance do? You got to send that old phone back before you get that new one in. So there's some of you that's sitting there in the old way of thinking. You out there thinking that you missing messages. You're not trusting your intuition. You're not seeing the signs and synchronicities. You're not seeing the opportunities that they're getting presented because that phone, that mentality that you had was broken, right? A dark screen. You thinking pessimistic. You speaking negative things on you. So that's a broken ass phone. It's there for no reason. This could be a partner. That partner, yes, they dare to say that they that you have a partner, but that shit don't work. You just saying, excuse me, because my allergies is kind of crazy right now, but you just saying or have them around to say that you have it, but that shit don't work. You missing out. You talking about, oh, you have a boo, but what do you do with that person? Are they showing you off? Are they willing to accommodate you? Are they willing to work with you? Are they making you feel like you're the only individual for them, or you just during that time period? You just the weekend. You just a day out of the day, weekday. Whatever the case may be, right? So therefore, chosen one, some of you got partners where, yes, you got a partner, but that shit's broken. Some of you got job positions. Yes, you could say you got a job. Thank you, baby. But that shit is broken. You say you got a job, but you upset, you stressed, the finances is there, but that shit's barely coming in. After a while, it's not even going to be worth that shit. So certain things, you understand, you got to give back the old in order to receive the new. So a lot of you talking about you want love to come through with, and all of a sudden that person you was with, it falls through. Why? Because that wasn't your love, baby. Sometimes you gotta do that reset. Like, if you don't know which direction to go, say that powerful prayer, and I bet you all those things is gonna get presented. You talking about, God, I just want my real love, okay? And that person who's the karmic, they gonna start cutting up. They gonna start acting up, acting distant, acting different, acting shady towards you, saying certain things towards you, whatever the case may be. Sometimes God will have certain people speak certain truths towards you so you can see things clearly, right? So sometimes God will use certain people to say certain things to you, do certain things to you, so that you get away from that direction. So it doesn't mean that they hate you. It doesn't mean that you're the worst individual, but sometimes God will use those people as a vessel to kind of direct you to where you need to go. So if you was following them, this is like you got a big brother or big sister, they walking, and a little child or your little sibling is following behind, and you know that where you going to, they can't go with you. You know it's not safe for them. You know they need to go back before they lose their direction. You know that certain places they gotta be, and that's expected. So what happens? You gotta yell at them a little bit. Go back home. You ain't coming with me. Go. You have to sometimes be a little mean in order for them to go do the things that they supposed to do. You got to think, if a mother is walking her children and the child runs out into the road a little bit, the mother or the father got to yell at that child in order to get them back in position. Get your ass up the road. Move. Be careful. Sometimes even God yanked them back. But that child may feel a certain type of way because they got yelled at, but they don't know the dangers that they was in. They don't know the location that they was in. So sometimes you serve as that purpose of throwing people into the direction that they need to be in. But sometimes chosen ones, God will use other people to direct you where you're supposed to go. So there's some people that you encountered where you could have felt like they deceived you, they was mean to you, they used you, but they pushed you to where you were supposed to go to. And I'll explain, right? And I'm real transparent. I told you this back in the day, chosen ones. Me and my partner at that time, we decided that I was going to raise our family while he worked out of town. So I was primarily the person 24/7 that my children see. I wasn't working because that person at that time was providing certain things. We made an agreement. It was cheaper for me to be as far as around my children full time. It also was safer because I was around my children all the time. I knew exactly what was going on. They had to go to no daycares and all of that. Now hear me out. I say this, chosen ones, because at that time period, we made the agreement. So whatever reasons behind it, we came to that conclusion. So for his, it could have been it was cheaper to do that rather than us pay $500 per week per kid, right? We had a squad. So it was cheaper at that time for me to work, for him to work and me to take care of our children. See, this is the thing. It worked for a nice amount of time until it didn't, and I'll explain. See, me, I'm a go-getter. I'm somebody who's Miss Independent, right? I like to have certain things, so I ain't gotta beg nobody for nothing. Growing up, even the things that I need, because I knew my mother wasn't going to or couldn't provide it, I ain't asked for certain things. I went without, right? So I'm so used to having it, or I was so used to being in survival mode, go-getter mode, where I ain't gonna ask nobody for shit. I ain't gonna beg nobody for shit. I ain't gonna do. I was strong-minded, a little bit of ego, right? So at that point in time, I went from the person who had to do everything for people that I was around. I was the person who, prior to having children with my child's father, or our children, I was the one who was taking care of everything, right? So when I aligned with them, my thing was, oh, this is a reward. Shit, I did everything. So then I looked at it as a benefit. For them, they went from feeling confident that I was at home, wasn't around nobody. So at that time, they were operating out of ego. They wanted me to stay home because they didn't want me around other people. They didn't want me to be all confident. They didn't want me. So there were selfish reasons for the decisions that they made too. And it ended up being selfish reasons for the reasons that I made mine as well, because I started to realize, you know, I deserve this shit. No, I deserve to just be able to chill. Now, it wasn't really chilling because I still had to take care of the squad, but I ain't have to show up. I was like Chris's mom off of Everybody Hates Chris. Soon as I start a job, soon as some shit, no, I ain't got to work. My dude got 3 jobs, right? I was on some shit. See, things happen, chosen one, where it was a shift. I wasn't happy during that time period. Everybody told me, oh, they wanted to be in the position I am. Oh, if they didn't have to work, they would have loved that. But me, I was a go-getter. I knew I had a purpose. I knew I had a position, so I didn't like that. So I started working like crazy. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to stay no home no more. I'm going to start working. To the point where I gave birth on Friday, went back to work on Monday. I was on some shit, right? So at that time period, chosen ones, now stay with me while I say this. It's because during that time period that I was receiving, we had the dynamic that everybody felt like we wanted. His friends was telling him, you good, you got a good child's mother who stay with her kids, ain't dropping nobody off. She always got them. She's taking them to stuff. She's making sure that they good. Everybody told me, you got a good dude that you with. He's taking care of bills. He's handling certain stuff. But I was not happy. He was not happy because the thing that we selected at that time caused more pressure. So he had more pressure on him because he had to take care of everything, right? As far as me, I had more pressure on me because although he was taking care of things financially, I was taking care of things physically. I was the main provider. So he may have provided the money, but I was the one who stretched that shit. I was the one who bought that shit, whatever the case may be. Now, I say this because it was a change in dynamic. Me and him grew separate ways, went our separate ways, right? But it assisted me with getting back on my shit. Now, what do I mean? Because it's a balance. I didn't have to decide on whether or not I'm going to relax and feel somebody doing or pouring into me. Or I didn't want to feel like all the pressure's on me that I have to do this to survive. So when him and I fell out, there's things that God had me do that actually made me a better individual. I started my business, right? I started my business. Not only that, I started working again, right? Not only that, chosen ones, as far as I started buying stuff for myself again, right? I started feeling better about myself because I felt like I was contributing, correct? So when I say certain situations that you encounter, and I say this because there's certain situations that you're in that other people will feel like it's the greatest circumstances. At that time, you may not see what you have because of how you feel about yourself, correct? So sometimes certain things will push you in a direction so you can get on your shit. Now, I say this. Now, matter of fact, I'm going to come back for that second part of that message, okay? But I'll say this for this part. This is a season where you focus on yourself. You can have anything that you want. You can have love. You can have finances. You can have somebody willing to invest in you. You can have somebody that's going to love on you. You're going to have somebody that's going to respect you. You're going to have somebody who's willing to give up certain ways in order to be with you, okay? And you have multiple options. Now, what I'm going to do, chosen ones, I'm actually going to get off of here for like 2 seconds, and I'm going to get back on because I don't want the messages to move together. I'm about to tell you what's about to arrive to you, okay? So I'll be right back in like 2 seconds. Thank you, baby. I promise you, okay? So I'm going to hang up, and then I'm going to call y'all back, and we're going to get into what y'all have coming into fruition, okay? 2 seconds.